In 2017, the Rams did something no NFL team had ever done. They hired Sean McVay, the youngest head coach in modern league history at 30 years old. He looked more like a marketing intern than a future Super Bowl winner. But behind that baby face was a mind like a supercomputer. What the Rams unleashed that day wasn't just a coach, it was a glitch in the matrix. A headset-wearing offensive genius who would reprogram the NFL in real time. Sean McVay was born in Dayton, Ohio, into a football family. His grandfather was the former head coach of the New York Giants, and later the executive who helped build the San Francisco 49ers dynasty with Bill Walsh. So, while other kids grew up watching cartoons, McVay grew up watching film breakdowns in his grandfather's office. He played college ball, but not at a football powerhouse. He went to Miami University of Ohio, a small school where he wasn't a star, but he honed his mind. There, McVay earned praise for his work ethic and IQ. No combined invite, no NFL tryout. But McVay didn't pout, he pivoted. At 22 years old, while most of his classmates were figuring out what to do next, McVay took a job with John Gruden's Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an assistant wide receivers coach. That's where his obsession took over. He lived in the film room. He was the guy who knew every position's responsibilities, not just his own. That reputation followed him in Washington, where he climbed from assistant to tight ends coach to offensive coordinator by age 28. Washington was chaotic. Quarterback drama, front office turnover, a carousel of head coaches and injuries. It was in this chaos that McVay found a system. He also found a mentor and a blueprint. This was where he crossed paths with the Shanahan coaching tree, learning the zone run foundation that he would later turbocharge with motion and play action. And it wasn't just X's and O's. McVay soaked up how to lead, how to install systems, and how to earn trust from veterans as a 20-something assistant. That emotional intelligence would become his hidden weapon, years before the public ever saw it. In less than a decade, he had held 5 different NFL coaching roles. By age 30, he'd spent more time on NFL sidelines than most journeyman players. He wasn't just young, he was dangerously prepared, and the league would never be the same. To understand how shocking McVay's rise was, we need to rewind. The 2016 Rams were a disaster. They finished the season ranked dead last in total offense. Jared Goff, picked number 1 overall, looked completely overwhelmed. The team averaged just 14 points per game and failed to score a touchdown in 5 separate games. Enter McVay. He took over in 2017 with a staff full of energy, ideas, and trust in player development. He didn't bring swagger, he brought systems. He rewired Goff from the ground up. He overturned the offensive language, and he installed an approach no team was ready for. In his first year, the Rams jumped from 32nd to 1st in scoring. Todd Gurley led the league in total touchdowns. Goff threw for 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns, and he did it without adding major weapons. No Tyreek Hill, no Travis Kelce, just sharp route concepts, spacing, and precision timing. He turned average into elite with nothing but brain power. So, what changed? McVay didn't just draw up plays, he dictated the pre-snap chessboard. It was like Goff had a Madden coach in his ear, and it made him look like a franchise quarterback overnight. While most head coaches leaned on experience, toughness, and grit, Sean McVay leaned on timing, structure, and illusion. A run play mimicked play action. A screen masqueraded as a vertical route. McVay's system sparked a league-wide shift. Before him, teams chased veteran coaches. By 2018, teams were rewriting their hiring playbooks. Experience no longer trumped innovation. If you had offensive ideas and a pulse under 40, you were on the radar. McVay was creating a coaching tree. From 2018 to 2022, 4 NFL head coaches emerged from his staff. Matt LaFleur, Packers, 3 NFC championships. Zach Taylor, Bengals, Super Bowl appearance. Brandon Staley, Chargers, and Kevin O'Connell, Vikings. Some had never called plays or been coordinators, but they all shared one resume line: worked with Sean McVay. They were a new breed, young, offensive-minded, and fearless. Front offices had learned the lesson of the Super Bowl. You didn't need decades of experience, you just needed to be a disciple of the most innovative mind in football. This wasn't a fad, it was a complete institutional recalibration. It wasn't just a new offense, it was a new religion. Front offices recalibrated overnight. Suddenly age didn't matter, ideology did. Everyone wanted the next McVay, even if it meant skipping steps. McVay's ideas spread like wildfire, but one coach was ready to extinguish them. February 3, 2019, Super Bowl 53, McVay's Rams versus Belichick's Patriots. Two high-powered systems, one built on youthful innovation, the other built on decades of dominance. The Rams had averaged over 32 points per game that season. Gurley, Goff, Kupp, Woods. McVay had steamrolled through the NFC, but Belichick didn't play checkers. He rewatched every snap from McVay's last 10 games. He charted every motion, every audible, every tell. Then he did what no one else could. He erased the McVay cheat code. He made the Rams offense look like it was running Windows 95. Belichick didn't just react to McVay's scheme, he reverse engineered it. He built a defensive script that played on McVay's own structure and tendencies. Every shift, motion, and alignment became bait. And McVay, he walked right into the trap. What had confused defenses all year now served as a roadmap for the one coach prepared enough to follow it. Belichick had his defense disguise coverages. He had safeties rotating late, linebackers faking blitzes, and corners shifting in zones that looked like man. The result? Rams, 3 points, Goff, 50% completions, 0 TDs, 1 INT. McVay, outcoached, outprepared, outmaneuvered. It was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in modern history. After the game, McVay said, "I got outcoached. I didn't put my guys in the best position. That's on me." But what he didn't say out loud was more important. That will never happen again. McVay could have doubled down on his system, blamed the players, tinkered at the edges. Instead, he torched the foundation. In January 2021, the Rams traded Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks, and a third to Detroit for 33-year-old Matthew Stafford. It was a seismic gamble. Goff was young, a number 1 pick. Stafford had never won a playoff game. Fans pointed to Stafford's career stats, a losing record, and a history of injuries from years of carrying a bad Lions team. But McVay saw something else. He saw a quarterback with a laser arm and an inner toughness that could withstand any pressure. It was a bet on a player, not a system. And Stafford delivered. 4,886 yards, 41 TDs. Cooper Kupp exploded, 145 catches, 1,947 yards, triple crown. McVay's leadership shone through. He held one-on-one film sessions with Kupp, rebuilt OBJ's confidence post-Cleveland, and empowered Stafford to audible freely. His mantra, "We don't play safe, we play fearless." The Rams went 12-5, toppling Brady's Bucks, Kyler's Cardinals, and Jimmy G's Niners in the playoffs. And then Super Bowl 56, tie game. The final drive was a masterclass in trust. McVay called 3 straight passes, no safety net, no conservative clock management. Stafford hit Kupp on a no-look bullet, and again on a back shoulder dart. Then a gusty run on 4th down. The ball never left Kupp's hands. McVay didn't just believe in his stars, he unleashed them. McVay throws his headset and runs down the sideline in disbelief. Redemption, reinvention, revenge. He hadn't just hacked the NFL, he redefined winning. Sean McVay didn't just change the game, he accelerated it. He proved that you don't need gray hair to run a locker room, that play callers could be culture builders, and that the smartest guy in the room might be in his 30s. But the NFL doesn't sit still. Today, front offices aren't just chasing scheme, they're chasing identity. And no one represents that shift better than Dan Campbell, a former tight end, a cultural wrecking ball. Where McVay wins with whiteboards, Campbell wins with war cries. So, what's the future? More headsets and flow charts? Or more grit, guts, and kneecap speeches? Drop Drop your take in the comments below. And subscribe for our next episode, The Kneecap Doctrine, How Dan Campbell is Building the NFL's Most Feared Culture.